Hello, welcome back to the Daily QCI for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. We're going to try something a little different today. We're going to see about applying Maslow's competence hierarchy to running a DSO. So as we know from previous daily QCIs, we have Maslow's hierarchy here. We have unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, unconscious competence, and reflective competence. Man, that's hard to say. We're going to apply each of these categories to being a manager or owner of a DSO. A DSO is an organization that, or a company that has multiple dental offices under their umbrella, and oftentimes require some specific management skills in order to ensure good, appropriate people management and clinical management and patient care and a host of things that go into that. So a manager in this situation is going to have a broad spectrum of skills. And so Maslow's competence hierarchy can apply to that individual in a number of areas. So we'll touch on a few of those today, see if it resonates. First is unconscious incompetence. This is where the individual is unaware of their lack of skill or knowledge. This one can be impactful in any area, but we're going to touch on understanding financial metrics as our primary. But just to touch on a few others before we get into the details of financials, unawareness of incompetence leads to knowledge gaps, it's poor decision making, there's operational challenges, it's poor people management, and not being aware of that. That can create traumatic experiences in the office for the team. It can mess with patient care. So a manager at this level really needs good oversight. They need to have somebody in the organization willing to mentor them, teach them, train them, a team that's willing to give feedback to them. So just creating awareness allows us to start to move into the next stage. But before we get there, the importance of creating awareness is that we're going to create a better understanding of financials, which is critical to running a dental practice or any business. And we're going to learn about KPIs and why those are important for tracking the success of the organization. And then most importantly, I think, is how the team is built. How do you build culture and maintain culture and have communication with the team in a number of different areas, from reception to clinical and through other multiple offices. So this one's really difficult and one of the most important. So once we gain a knowledge and awareness that we have gaps, the individual can start to create systems. So the recognition is critical, allows for motivation to get better, starts to develop even a deeper understanding of the different systems that are involved, from scheduling to billing to inventory to clinical efficiencies, and might involve doing some specific training in each of those areas to start to become more of an expert, or at least aware of what is possible in each of those areas. And creating operational efficiencies now is going to help managing be easier. So the frameworks that can be created, the systems that are created, the standard operating procedures that are understood and created and tweaked allows the organization to have more efficiency and to better respond to challenges and opportunities that may arise. At this level, there still needs to be oversight. So a mentor of some sort is likely going to be needed. It might be not in every area now. There might be areas of competence that are showing up, but that gets us to the next stage where we now have conscious competence. Mentoring is much less needed. The person can manage the DSO-related tasks effectively, but still requires effort. They might still rely on an expert in certain areas. They might need to go to their instruction manual of sorts for something. So the effort piece is the critical one here. But this is where they're going to start to be able to make much more educated decisions about customizing different procedures and protocols for multiple practices. They can start to tweak the patient experience so it's more idealized for a great patient process. And they're becoming more and more efficient. Next up, unconscious competence. Now it's less effort. Managing the office and or organization is becoming kind of second nature from both a people and a operations standpoint. And now we can start to look at how to scale. Because the management side of things, the understanding of all the different layers of an office is now embedded in the person's psyche, that person can now start to scale and apply this to multiple practices because they've gained experience, knowledge, understanding about how to manage the people and the processes, operations, patient care across broad domains. Most important here is that allows sustained success. It's not just success in opening, but through time. And now they're at a point where they're successfully running a DSO, possibly multiple practices, and they're now creating new people like them. They're creating new office managers, new regional managers. They have developed an understanding of what it means to be excellent in this role. They're innovating for the company on a unique basis, and they're able to mentor multiple people throughout the practices because of their understanding of multiple facets within the DSO. They can train not just a receptionist, but they can help train assistants and clinical teams and implement systems and decision-making processes that are reflective of the organization. So, a quick review of Maslow's competence hierarchy as applied to running a DSO. So what do you think? If you're running a DSO, where are you on this scale? And what can you do to acknowledge where you're at and make a plan to move up? Keep questioning, creating, inspiring. See you tomorrow.